With me, nigga, please. Had to buck him on the gram, he do too much for me. Now he fucking with my dough, got to get my Draco mask off, ready now, time to let him chop.
This interview is going good. Y'all talking your shit, but in a humble way. Yeah. And I did an interview like not 2 weeks ago. My last interview, it was like a learning process. It was like artists, when it comes to artistry, you gotta be able to talk your shit, but still be humble and get your point across. That's what we have here right now. For you, Love is War is the album that you created back in 2019 with a total of 16 tracks. Who were you during that album compared to now?
Dude. That's fun. Damn. Yo, somebody changed my mentality. You know, long story short, I don't want to get on my long-winded shit, but shout out on air with Sir. He let me intern for him for 6 months. Yeah, Sir, man, and like just changed my whole point of view. When we talk about pigeon energy, I was heavy on pigeon energy. I'm about to, man, fuck it. I'm gonna say it. I was on some just happy to be here type shit. Just thank you for anything I can get. Right? And he noticed that energy. He was like, bro, like, I'm gonna just keep it real. I'm gonna just tell the story, sir. I'm gonna just tell the story, forgive me. But he was like, you think you better than people? I was like, no. So we sat down, right? And he asked me like, all right, cool. Name a person you would say is above you, a level above you, right? I was like, Jay-Z. First thing that came to my mind. He was like, all right. So since there's somebody in a level above you, there's gotta be a level below you. Who's on that level below you? I ain't say nothing. But the first thing that came to my mind was a homeless person. Mm-hmm. And that shit was like, it made me realize that I really did think I was better than certain people and other people were better than me. He made me realize I was out here looking fucking hungry and starving and begging for opportunities when I needed to realize who I really was. The reason I was even in certain rooms was because I was great. People been saw that in me. They just also saw I was starving and took the opportunity to take advantage of that. Once I started walking around royal, understanding my value, asking for my worth, and knowing how to walk away when it's not given, man, things changed. So who I was in that album, man, was like, I was just an immature businessman. You know, I know like creatively, I'm me. That's all me. This next album coming out, Still Searching, is just the continuance of the story. But who I was as a human, I just wasn't. I ain't had my business together. And Sir helped me get my whole network, my whole business right, my mindset, and then let me go fly. He ain't hold me down in the cage, which is important. I love Sir. Yeah.
I need to hear
that. Freestyle.
He's a freestyle.
Do you have a network of other artists that you rely on, and what do they do to support each other? Yep.
Oh shit, my fault. I'm fried. That got me fried. You said network. Say that one more time. My fault.
Do you have a network of other artists that you rely on, and what do you do to support each other?
Okay. Yes, I do have a network of other artists that I rely on. And the way that we support each other, first of all, is just by, first of all, support. I started a little group chat. A couple of us started some group chats and stuff. We throw our stuff in there, and we just throw our stuff in there. And then from there, is other people that I talk to that's like I said, my man's Chino, my man Shiz. They really cool people. My man's BT Kiss. They like my top 4 people. I would say that always, if I'm posting something, they gonna drop. They gonna repost that joint every time because those are just my folks. And it's just love. And besides that, I try to, like I said, stay connected with people and try to leave a good impression on people. Like, because if you leave a bad taste in somebody's mouth, you know what I mean, you can't never get them to ever want to like you or repost your stuff or be there for you in any type of capacity. So I try to just be a good person at heart, no matter what type of lyrics I'm rapping, no matter what type of, stuff I'm doing. I try to still be a good person. And that's how I keep my network, and that's how we keep a network with each other, just keeping like-minded people like that around.
Good answer. This is for you too. What is the biggest barrier of being an artist, and how do you address it?
Well, I think every artist has a different barrier. For me, my barrier currently is getting my paper straight in the right, like I ain't about to say I'm broke, but I got a lot of legal issues, and that'd be like my main thing keeping me from going and blowing a bag on some crazy ass video, and like, you know what I mean? So it's just hard for every different artist. Some people have ego problems. Some people have problems where they can't be social. Some people have problems where they think they doing the right things and they just not. So for me personally, as an artist, like I said, it's different for everybody. Like I said, my shit is just some whole other shit that is I can get through, but everybody got to get through their own shit, and that's why a lot of niggas, excuse my language, a lot of people do not make it as an artist because that is this one big ass barrier. You can't even see it most of the time. You just can't even see it. It's just there.
Good answer. Ooh. Okay. How would you describe your development as an artist from your first album to your recent album?
Well, I'm a new artist, so I only dropped 3 albums. First one, so my first one, I was a new artist. I was excited to, when I heard my first track, it was like, damn, I sound like this? Like, I can make a track sound like this from just scratch? Oh, all right, I think I can make music. Like, and then when I started sending it out to other people, it was like, oh shit, let me find out you could rap. Like, I started getting good feedback, so I was like, all right, cool, fuck it, I'm just push this and see where it go. So that first album was just kind of like just me, just kind of just having fun with it, just rapping. My second album was more so of me focused on the numbers aspect. So I was trying to just go for viral shit, just go for all hits, no misses, go for all bops, you see what I'm saying? And not really care so much for the bars. I mean, it was some bar heavy tracks, but it was more so of, you know, trying to get the numbers, trying to get aim for TikTok and shit like that. And I kind of started losing focus on the music. I started focusing more so on like,
Going viral.
okay, yeah, going viral. How many people that I can get to listen to this in 60 seconds and shit like that? Like, it was bad. Like, I really started getting like number crazy.
It's like a addiction, or not even addiction, like a aha.
Yeah. Like, I couldn't put my phone down because I was always checking Instagram swiping down to see how many followers I got. Like, it was really bad.
I think a lot of people like that too, though. Not just you, bro. Just don't even feel crazy because a lot.
See, but I had to fall back from that though, because it really puts you like it puts you in a space where you really shouldn't really be for real. Like, it's not good mentally. But then also during that time, my second album, that's when PUA had came out. So I mean, I definitely was one of those niggas that was on that shit. I ain't even gonna hold you. Like, so I was going galore when it came to studio time, videos, clothes, models, dancers. I mean, you name it, I was just going in. Like,
that was the right track. You
invested
in yourself.
I did, but I did it in the wrong way because I invested everything that I had instead of putting something aside. You know what I'm saying?
Oh.
So now I'm at a point where it's my 3rd album. I'm writing it, and now I lose my job. There's no PUA, so now I have no income. So now I'm depressed as shit. I don't have no money to go to the studio, so how can I make money now? So now I'm donating blood, I'm selling my food stamps, I'm just trying to do anything I can to get studio time. Now that I got studio time, it's like, all right, cool, I'm gonna record as much as I can and get it all out, and I mean, and try to lay this album down because that's what I really want to do. Like, I want to get it out. I don't want it to just sit in my notes because I need to record. I need to write because this is what gets me through my everyday. Like, so then a lot of personal shit started happening. Like, I lost where I was living at. Like, it was like really, really bad, but I still made sure that I kept that notion of I want to get this music out to the people, because as long as I do that, I feel happy, I feel cool, I feel the weight lifted off my shoulders. So then, I mean, by the grace of God, I was able to get a job. I just got a job a couple months ago, working at a hospital. So now I'm like, all right, cool, I can finish this album, I can push it, recorded the video, and put that shit out. I just recorded a deluxe to it. I put the deluxe out last week. And where I was with this album, it was like I was in a different space because I was really, really low, and I was really, really hungry for it. So I gave the pain, but I also gave myself. My first 2 albums, I was talking about bitches and talking about fucking girls and shit like that, knowing damn well that I'm gay and I have a boyfriend and shit like that. So I had to be real with myself. Like, bro, you want your street friends to like your music, but you also have to be real and authentic within yourself and know that there's other people that know you. You see what I'm saying? So I can't be saying I want a bad bitch that got this on, knowing damn well. You see what I'm saying? So I had to be real.
But what was it?
Like,
Did you felt like? I'm gonna just. I gotta ask a question because I'm fucking intrigued in this. Did you feel like gay raps or portraying your like being gay on camera wasn't gonna work, or it'd just be easier if it was bitches? Like what was the whole mentality? Because I always felt like that's a clear lane, like gay rapper. That's a clear fucking lane. There's not too many, so it's like you getting that bag. LGBTQIA supports heavy. You feel me? Like heavy. It's like that's a big bag. So like, what was your mentality? Why didn't you want to like put that as a forefront?
Because
I take over the interview.
That was a good question. Because I'm about to say it's a lot of backlash for gay rappers also.
Right.
So yeah, that's a good question.
I think that just to be honest, that when straight people hear gay, they automatically turn away from it, or they automatically think of feminine. So I didn't really want to put that out there. You know what I'm saying? Because just me as myself, I'm gay, but I'm not a feminine man. I'm masculine. So it's like that's the image that I'm going to put out there. But after a while, it was just like it wasn't feeling like me. You know what I'm saying?
Authentic.
Yeah, it wasn't authentic. So now it's like, yeah, I'm myself, and I do push that. Like, I'm a gay rapper, and I still spit hard. I still spit bars. The shit is still real. It's still me. It's not that 1, 2, 3 fuck on me. You know what I mean? It ain't no I'm a scamming nigga. I'm a fucking nigga. No, that's not. No, I'm not that type of. Yeah, not at all. So it's like I am now. I'm going for that lane, like that gay rapper lane, because like you said, it's not that many people that's there, and the gay rappers that's there, unfortunately, they are very feminine, or they talk about scamming niggas or just sex. Like that's all it really is. But it's more to that. And what's crazy is it's a lot of, I ain't gonna say niggas, there's a lot of people out here that are like me, that are men who like other men, but they're scared to portray that because they don't want to be portrayed as weak to other people, or they don't want to disappoint their family, or they don't want to hurt their baby mom or their wife, but they know that they like men behind closed doors. You know what I'm saying? Like, I used to be one of those men, but now I'm myself. I live life like, I don't give a fuck what you think. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm going to do me and I'm going to be me, because life is short. You're here today, you're going tomorrow. So I'm going to live life to the fullest as me.
I feel that, and that's coming off more authentic. That's making people connect way more.
Exactly.
Hell yeah, I feel that.
Ooh, that was powerful. Thank you
for that question.
For you, when are you dropping your next album, and what can we expect?
Man, I don't know that I'm ready for an album. Like, I've been looking at, like, I'm just good at reading the room. That's just one of my strengths. So like, I've been like looking at hip hop, looking at the internet, just reading the room, seeing what's working and what's not, and what worked and what is, and how are these people that once worked, why aren't they working, or why did they continue to work? Like, I'm looking at all of that, and at this current stage in my career, it's got to be singles, visuals, a lot of connection on a grassroots level. As far as like, I'm in my DMs strategically for hours a week, where I'm talking to motherfuckers that live in Tanzania and Kenya and Sweden and London and a lot of people outside of America mainly, that just gravitate towards what I'm talking about and my brand and my message. So I it's weird. I got an album in a tuck, but I just don't want to throw it out there. I don't want to like I just don't want to bust that load. Like, I just want to I just want to keep building. Like, I just feel like every single has gotten more streams than the last, and I've built brand, and I've been able to do media and freestyles like in between to give music a break. I don't know when I want to put out an album, but the album's there, and the concept I have, when we talk about creative, oh my God, I don't even want to say it because I don't want nobody to take my fucking idea. But
they can't, because it's on LeemyHendrix Show, so they already gonna know you said it.
No, I don't give a motherfucker. They will, oh my God, I'll be damned. I got such a phenomenal idea on how I want to roll this album out. Like, it's just, I'll talk about it when it's ready, but the album's gonna be called Still Searching. It's a whole thing around it, but once that comes out, it's just, but it's gonna be me. Like, if this is the God honest truth, I got the album together, but what I'm doing is I'm plucking some singles off of the album, throwing them off as singles to keep my name buzzing, and then replacing them singles with some better singles. So it's almost on some detox shit, except my shit gonna come out a little sooner, but it's like the album's really there, and y'all literally have been getting it over the last 2-3 years, but just in singles. Cause I'm like, man, why would I put out like I'm super old school with the albums. Why would I put out 20 tracks? Y'all gonna listen to the first 3, then y'all got some real life shit happening, attention span is short, somebody called you, you're not gonna remember to come back to the album, so you missed 17 songs. I invested money, I invested time, them shits need to get heard, they're fucking viral worthy. So now I'm like, alright, let me take a single, let me roll a single out, let me work on that single, let me fucking play that shit fresh to death, and then when they're tired of that shit, moving on to the next one. You know what I mean? That's how I'm playing my strategy right now. And then when it's album time, I'll know, because it'll be enough energy around my name to where you won't want to sit down and listen to what I got going on. And yeah,
it's always a good strategy behind a good artist.
Yeah.
This one for you. So, on one of your tracks, right? From your album, Nah Nah, right? You were speaking some real shit. I wanted to know, is it something that really happened to you in real life, or where you just in the studio, you heard the beat, and you was just like, you know what? I'm feeling this, and started writing.
So yeah, when I made this
Here
song.
verse.
Oh yeah, you gonna rap this y'all shit?
I can't rap.
What is it? Okay. Heard that chopper sound. Wait. I should know this, but I don't. I freestyle. This is how you know I freestyle. So, cause I don't remember my bars. But heard that chopper sound. Damn, he only 16 while that chopping down. People around my hood don't got no feelings down. They numb with the gun, you gotta shoot him down. He a clown for the fun while they shoot him down. I've been stuck inside the hood since a baby. Niggas wonder why the fuck they really hate me. That's it, but you caught me off guard with that one.
I know, I told you, when I was coming here, I stopped and I started writing some more questions down. And I was like, oh my god, I should have told them, but I was floating.
But yeah, when I wrote that, I ain't write that, I freestyled that. I went in the studio, I was a little on, like I ain't go, I be getting intoxicated when I be making my songs. So that's why it's hard for me to remember them joints. But that specific joint, I go off emotion when I rap. So I was feeling more so like, I'm sorry, like just hearing about people die in the streets. I've seen specifically people die. Not like, you know what I mean, not even on me and my folks doing nothing like that. I ain't trying to get nobody locked up. But like I seen people literally die in front of me before, and it's just like sad to see when you come from a city where you can see this on a daily basis, or like every here and again, versus a person in the suburbs that ain't got to deal with nothing like that. They get to see that shit on the news. Right. Me personally, that's where that song came from. Nah, that joint just came from a hurt perspective of me tired of seeing like people, young people, black young people die to dumb things in the streets, bro. It's just sad to see, and it may not have sounded like it in the song, but really that's what I was trying to go for.
You court that concept. That was a good concept that you court. That's why I was like, damn, you really talking about some good shit.
Yeah,
for you, again, on your YouTube page, it states currently rebranding. How are you currently rebranding?
Alright, well, in the rebranding aspect, I'm not even gonna hold you. It's this thing that I heard of called Keeping Up with the Johnsons. If you go look at any of my man's shit right now, bro, they videos, like I said, go check out my man's S4, go check out my man's BT Kiss, go check out my man's Chino. All three of these boys, man, they going hard. So it's like you can't be around people that's going hard and you don't want to go hard yourself. So I'm rebranding myself. I'm trying to make myself the most DJDckhead I could be. You know what I mean? I'm trying to take myself to the next aspect of being not just a rapper, but a boss. Not just being a rapper or artist, but being somebody that's like can stay in the game for a long time, bro. Like I want to make some bread. I want to stack that bread, and I want to go turn myself and make my name something, bro. I don't want to just be a dickhead. I want to be DJDckhead. You feel me?
Good answer. Good answer. Also for you too. Sure. Your 11-track album, XG6, dropped back September 2021. What was the creativity behind it, and where was it most difficult? What was your most difficult track?
All right, the creativity behind that joint was It wasn't really much. As of right now, I'm not gonna hold you. When I make tracks and I make songs, I don't think too much about it. I just go, I do. I know I want to make music, so I make music, and that's all it is to it, for real. Like when I made that whole little joint, it was really a couple of old songs, a couple of new songs, but I just wanted to put out a couple of more songs than just the EP this time, cause like I only dropped like maybe one or two. Like I'm a new artist too, so I don't know. It wasn't really not too much thought behind it. Just make an album, make a little joint, keep going. But now this next joint that I'm about to drop, I'm trying to be a little bit more creative. I'm trying to be a little bit more, put more money into it and make it really look like something polished and like that could be mainstream, because I'm an independent artist and it's just, you know, it's hard, bro, just being an independent artist like on some real shit. Anybody that's really trying to make it with music can tell you, bro, it's a struggle, bro. And being DJDckhead, a name that you can't even really say on certain radio. You can't say that joint on the radio. You can't say that. Like, I'm really putting myself out there for
DJ Double D.
For whatever reason. I think it's gonna work, bro. I don't know why. I mean,
So how they know to say your name on the radio? What they like?
bro, so listen. fuck the radio. That's how I feel right now.
Yeah, we moving into. I mean, honestly, we moving
Bro.
into an internet podcast space anyway.
Metaverse.
So.
Catch me in the metaverse.
God,
That's where
bro.
you gonna catch me at.
Yo,
Your
no
metaverse,
rap
fuck the
though,
radio.
virtual reality, doing this hip
That's
hop shit
where
like that. Hell yeah,
you gonna see
ciphers and all of that
DJDckhead.
shit. What? I can't wait. That's the future right there.
So,
Fuck the radio.
what was the most difficult track on that album?
Out of that whole album, I would think Corpse's Bride. A lot of people probably skipped over that song. That is a sad song. It's like how you said, I mean, when you listen to a sad song, you gotta be in a sad vibe. But that's one of my favorite songs off of that whole joint. First of all, it uploaded slower than how I wanted it to upload. Like I made the song, it was supposed to be 2 times the speed of what it actually was, so it uploaded slow. So the next joint I'm dropping all new songs, but that one specific song, I'm gonna drop it the way it was supposed to be dropped. But that was the most difficult song. Why? Alright, because it's basically a song about my ex and, you know, me still loving her even though she dead to me. And that's basically, if you ever watched the movie Corpse's Bride, it's not really necessarily about that, but the guy, he talks to a girl that's a zombie and he still got another girl, and I had 2 girls, so basically it was kind of similar. I had to pick one or whatever, and it just ended up like the other joint, she ain't dead to me. I still love you to death, but it's just like I know we can't be together. So it's just like I really resonated with that movie and translated that movie and those feelings into that song. And it was so hard to captivate that shit, like without getting, I can't even say nervous, without getting into an emotional state of being like, yo man, fuck this shit, I'm depressed. Like it was just so hard to translate. But I got it done, and I can't wait to drop the newer version of it. I like both versions of it, but I like the newer one better.
That was a good answer. I tell y'all, these artists are creative. Y'all better check in.
We pick 'em right.
Bro, I'm telling you, so many people probably just skipped over that song and just like, what is it? But me personally,
You'd be surprised. You might be connecting with a whole lot of motherfuckers with that record. It'd be them therapeutic drones. Or even the way you said, let's get on that real quick. The way you said, like how you like almost like re-releasing the record. Like sometimes it's not even like, I swear to God, 20% of this shit is the music. It's really how you packaging this shit. You feel me? It's like, why is Jordan winning above every other sneaker? Why is fucking Apple winning against every other fucking computer? It's really the way they package it and the way they make it look. It's not anything crazy in the hardware or in the actual fabric.
No,
but
they're
it's
selling the same phone.
it's the same
over.
But it's the way you package it though. Cause you could never, I could never sell you that if I ain't make it look like it was worth that. You feel me? Like a lot of it is like, I even noticed even the way y'all came in dressed, like off rip, I could tell like, okay, you doing something, you somebody very artsy, like the bag, like the fur, like you could really see that. So a lot of it is the packaging, like with the music, like just for artists watching. You might have been like, damn, why ain't it work? It might not be a music video. It might be a freestyle type video in the hood, or it might not even be that. It might be a lyric video. It might be a cartoon visual. You gotta figure that one out. Like every record's different. You know what I mean?
What was your favorite album to create and why? Big Grizz, The Grizz Pen, or King?
My favorite album to create, I would say King. My most recent album, besides the Deluxe. I would say it was my most favorite, because like I said, I was in a different headspace. So even though I was in a really low point in my life, like I said, I was hungry. I was even hungrier to record, to write. So I made sure that not only did I stay authentic to myself, but I made sure that I stayed authentic to rap. You know what I'm saying? So I made sure that I picked beats that were actual, beats that anybody could spit on. But once I got on it was like, okay, you can tell this is Grizz. Like, this is Grizz flow. This is for Grizz. Like, and I made each track my own. I was also fighting multiple cases, so I had to make sure that I was good on, like, my end. I had to make sure that I was good on the legal end. I had to make sure that I was good, like, even just with my health and shit like that. So it was just like a lot going on in that time span. And being as though that I was able to put that album out, and when I did, it was really like a weight was lifted off my shoulders, and then the feedback that I got from it, it just made everything that I felt like I was going through, like, it didn't even like really matter for real. And it was like, I went through it for a reason, I guess. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I would definitely say my last album was my best album that I created. And make sure y'all tune into that, King. It was inspired by the Queen, Nicki Minaj. All of my albums are inspired by her, as you can see. The Grizz print, Nicki Minaj pink print. King is off of, mimicking Nicki Minaj's Queen. And then, what was my first one? That's crazy. I'm
Big Grizz.
Yeah, it was my self-titled album, Big Grizz, and that was from her first mixtape that she ever dropped. It was called Nicki Minaj, Nicki Minaj, a lyricist, an icon, and a rapper, some shit like that. It was like 3 subtitles, but that shit was fire, and I just mimicked that off of my first self-titled album.
Good answer. What are the next big moves for you and your brand 2022?
So this year I'm just working on all visuals. Then I just put out a deluxe. So I'm gonna let that go for the streaming platforms. I'm gonna let people just listen to that, let that shit just keep streaming. But this year I'm focusing on actually putting together a visual, not documentary, but just kind of like letting you go through my album in a visual way versus you just hearing it. So I got 16 tracks on the deluxe. Out of the 16, I'm probably gonna do 7. And all those 7 tracks are going to be included in the visual. So yeah, it's going to be like that. So it's probably going to be like a 20-30 minute visual, but it's going to be all of my tracks. And that's going to mimic Nicki Minaj's Pink Print movie that she did. She made that probably like 10 years ago, and that shit was fire. She did like 4 songs, but it was like a movie you was able to sit and watch. For 2022 is to put a visual project together, because you know that's the time we in. The YouTube, the visuals, you gotta keep people watching. You can't just do a video and just stand in there. I mean, people won't watch it, like you said, for the 30-45 seconds, but then after that, they don't get bored. So you gotta keep the people intrigued. So I feel like a visual music video with all of my songs is gonna be fire. That's gonna be different.
You heard it here first.
Expensive, but different.
Y'all heard it here first. All this good information, y'all better keep up with it. Last question. For you, Joey, describe what you think is the best piece of art you created thus far.
Tough question. It changes every time. I always feel like it's the last thing I created. And then I go through patches, like sometimes I don't even want to listen to my own music. I'm like, man, I'm riding around listening to other people's shit. Like, you know what I mean? People that don't even sound like me. Some of my supporters get mad at me, like, why you listening to that melodic shit? Because I'm like, I do a lot of storytelling, lyrical shit. Not really much of the auto-tune these days, but that's all I'm listening to. You'll catch me listening to Young Thug on a normal day, or some Drake, or some some Weezy, and that's my vibe. What's my favorite, my best piece of art? I don't know. Like,
Modest.
I'm at a point in my life where I'm just grateful to be alive. I just want to be great. I'm creating. I'm trying to slowly but surely peel off every layer. I don't like to be put in a box or labeled. Right now, I'm being looked at as a certain way because I've only presented certain things to the public. I'm being very intentional in what I do and how I do it. And right now, they just know me as the guy who can rap. A lot of freestyle content, a lot of visuals where I'm just standing there and spitting my bars, a lot of that.
Mother, you just did a freestyle like last week.
And that's what they know me as, and that's intentional. but but that's evolving into the visuals that's coming into this year. To like, it's a lot more. I'm not gonna get into all of that. I'ma unlayer them because there's so much to me, and God willing, I get to live as long as I feel like I'm gonna live. I just it's gonna be a very interesting ride.
So you basically
I'm an entertainment for the long run.
So you basically telling the public that you got some more coming and don't label you yet.
They gonna label you. That's what it is. That's the world. They gonna label you. It's just I'm not gonna allow you to continue to pigeonhole me. And everybody been saying, "Oh, when we gonna see an episode of Just My Thoughts?" You know, a podcast that I had put out. Y'all not. I don't want to do an episode. You want to see me talk? Go to LeemyHendrix. Go see that. You want to see me talk? Go to one of these platforms I went on. But you won't get an episode because I'm not ready for that right now. Made a mistake. I was doing too much. I'm like, oh shit, that's what it is. They start labeling you. Oh, you should be. Man, I got so mad. They fucking introduced me. I've been rapping my whole fucking life. I'm podcasting for 3 months at this point, 4 months. They introduced me at a showcase as the podcaster Joeyy Deville. Oh, I was sick. I got like 300 singles out there. I'm sick. But how am I gonna get offended when I'm out here putting out this content and I got, 4 skeezers on a podcast? I like to suck dick like this, and I'm like, word. And when you cuff the balls and that shit is going, that shit is, you know what I mean? That shit's gonna go. That shit is gonna go. That shit is gonna go. When you talking spicy, it's gonna go. That's a part of me. That's a layer of me. But I don't want to even show that till later. So y'all might see an episode when I'm 40, when I'm like retired from rap and I'm done doing movies and books. I might talk shit. You feel me?
I get where you're coming from.
You feel me?
I get it.
You gotta focus on what you want to focus
Gotta
on.
do music right now. That's what I'm doing is music.
Y'all call me a podcaster? No.
Yeah. No, I was sick. No. I was goddamn sick. Everyone's like, I can't wait. Can I be on your podcast? I don't want to talk about your fucking mixtape. Man, I got my shit coming out, motherfucker.
I just asked, can I be on the podcast?
You feel me? Like, motherfuckers be mad at you. Why didn't you ask about the tape? Because no one gives a shit. I'm asking questions like, who do you like to date and and I'm like all right, like what are the top 3 reasons people cheat? Go. Everybody go giving their reasons. That's an interesting conversation. I didn't want to do that, and people started kind of putting me in that box. I was like, I'm done with this podcast shit, man. Fuck this shit.
I get it. I feel like when I'm on like my talk show and stuff, I don't want everybody just to know me as LeemyHendrix. He do interviews.
Yeah.
I want to be able to do like some cooking content on there. I want to do a round talk table. Like I want it to be like not just he gonna talk with an artist. That's why we about to get into this motherfucking cypher, cause y'all can't just have an interview without getting some entertainment.
Get a couple dollars, go to Benihana, keep a semi on your body, ready for the drama. Everybody asking for a fucking favor. When you need it, ain't nobody ever there to say you.